Arizona's ground is broken. We're talking earth fissures, major cracks in our desert that can open up at any moment.
But is your home or business at risk, and can we prevent these from happening? Well, the answer is yes and no.
From above, the Arizona desert looks timeless, quiet, sun-scorched, and untouched. But in 2005, pilots flying near Pinal County reported something disturbing. Enormous cracks slicing across the desert floor like scars. These weren't small fractures. They stretched for miles, some wide enough to swallow a truck. At first, locals dismissed them as nothing more than odd terrain features. But by 2010, the fissures had spread, creeping silently across farmland and inching closer to residential areas. Some now measure over 10 miles in length. Yet these gaping wounds in the earth formed without a single earthquake. No shaking, no warning, just silence, and then a break. What if Arizona really is starting to break apart? What if the land itself is beginning to split, inch by inch, mile by mile? Today, Arizona is home to more than 270 documented fissures, and new ones appear each year. What's causing this strange phenomenon? Why here, and why now? In this video, we'll reveal the hidden threats that Arizona's land is quietly unleashing on the people who call it home. But before we start, here's a little question to entertain you. From which city was a real historic bridge transported to Arizona? A. Paris. B. Venice. C. London. D. Berlin. Write your answer in the comments. Patiently watch the video till the end to find out the truth. Number 10. Devil's Kitchen. Arizona is a land of strength and resilience. From its mountains to its canyons, every inch tells a story of survival carved into stone. But deep in the red rock terrain of Sedona, one landmark whispers a warning louder than most. It's called Devil's Kitchen, a sinkhole that isn't just a scenic curiosity but a reminder of the restless ground beneath our feet. Located in the Coconino National Forest, Devil's Kitchen opened without warning in the late 1800s. The first major collapse was recorded in 1880, and reportedly left locals stunned by how suddenly the ground had given way. Then it happened again in 1989, when the sinkhole expanded even further, raising new concerns about the land's stability. This wasn't a slow erosion over centuries. It was a violent shift in the earth, unexpected, uncontrolled, and deeply unsettling. Today, the sinkhole spans roughly 150 feet across and drops more than 50 feet deep. Its jagged walls remain unstable, and the surrounding rock continues to shift. According to geologists, the site is still active, and the risk of future collapses cannot be ruled out. In simple terms, Devil's Kitchen has not finished what it started. It is still growing, and no one knows when it might shift again. If a new collapse were to happen, the consequences could be severe. A sudden drop might send tons of rock and debris crashing into the pit. Hiking trails could vanish within seconds. Trees could be torn from their roots, and surrounding land could become dangerously unstable. If the collapse spreads toward nearby roads or private property, the damage could go far beyond the forest. It could impact real lives, real homes, and real families. Now imagine the same kind of collapse happening not in a remote canyon but in a neighborhood, a schoolyard, or a busy street. Arizona's surface is layered with limestone and sandstone, materials that are prone to underground erosion. Once a void begins to collapse, it can trigger a chain reaction, causing entire blocks to shift and sink. Streets could crumble. Utility lines might rupture. Lives could be turned upside down in a matter of seconds. Could the entire state fall into a hole? No. But could entire communities lose their ground, their roads, and their safety? Without question. And that's a possibility few want to think about until it's too late. Sedona is one of Arizona's most iconic and beloved destinations, and Devil's Kitchen is a part of that mystique. But it also serves as a geological alarm bell. This land is breathtaking, but it is not unbreakable. As Arizona's population grows and development expands, the delicate balance beneath us becomes harder to ignore. Before we dive deeper into this explosive story, please take a moment to hit that like button. It's a small action, but it helps YouTube's algorithm promote our videos to a wider audience. Number 9. San Francisco Peaks. Arizona is known for its natural beauty and the strength of its communities, but hidden along the northern skyline is a silent force that once changed the land forever. The San Francisco Peaks, just north of Flagstaff, are more than a scenic mountain range. They are the remains of a massive volcano and scientists believe that story is not yet over. These peaks belong to the San Francisco Volcanic Field, a vast region containing over 600 volcanic vents. Among them are lava domes, cinder cones, and long fractures that run through the desert floor. The entire range was created by a single enormous stratovolcano that once stood taller than it does today. Thousands of years ago, a violent eruption destroyed its summit, leaving behind the jagged skyline visible now. Today, the tallest of those peaks is Humphreys Peak, the highest point in Arizona, at over 12,600 feet. Although the mountain appears quiet, geologists consider the volcanic field dormant rather than extinct. That distinction is important because dormant means it could still erupt again. The most recent activity occurred roughly 1,000 years ago at nearby Sunset Crater, which in geological time is quite recent. Experts believe future volcanic activity in this area is not a question of possibility, but timing. The underground systems that once fueled eruptions are still active and complex. Magma continues to shift below the surface, gradually changing pressure in the layers beneath northern Arizona. And when that pressure finds a release point, the consequences could be dramatic. A modern eruption could send ash clouds into the sky, disrupt air travel and force evacuations. Roads could disappear beneath lava flows, and entire communities might be forced to flee. Though such an event may feel distant, Arizona has already lived through eruptions before, and geologists agree it could happen again. Flagstaff and surrounding towns continue to expand, drawing more people to the region every year. Most residents never think about the volcano resting behind their homes. Yet beneath their feet is a landscape shaped by fire and still capable of waking up. Arizona's people are strong, proud, and accustomed to the forces of nature. But even in this high desert, where the sky is clear and the earth looks still, nature moves on its own schedule. Sometimes it gives a warning and sometimes it doesn't. Our team needs your help. Subscribe to our channel to help more people learn the truth about current events. And now, we move on. Number 8. Santaita Fault. Arizona is no stranger to natural beauty, and it is no stranger to danger either. Its deserts, forests, and mountains tell a story of survival and adaptation. But some of the state's greatest threats lie far below the surface, hidden from view and often forgotten. In southern Arizona, near the city of Tucson, the Santaita Fault stretches silently through the landscape. For now, it is still, but that calm may not last forever. The fault runs along the base of the Santaita Mountains and connects to a wider system across southeastern Arizona. For many years, this region was thought to be geologically quiet and free from serious seismic risk. However, recent research has revealed signs of powerful earthquakes in the fault's distant past. These findings have changed how scientists view the area and what it may still be capable of. Seismologists now estimate that the Santaita Fault could produce earthquakes as strong as magnitude 7. A quake of that size would not only shake Tucson, it could damage infrastructure across a wide radius. Roads might buckle, pipelines could rupture, and older buildings could collapse. The region's growing population adds to the danger, increasing both the human and economic cost of a major seismic event. What makes the threat more troubling is how little attention it receives. Arizona is not known for frequent earthquakes, so most people assume the ground beneath them is stable. But geologists now understand that rare earthquakes can be just as destructive as frequent ones. They don't follow predictable patterns and often arrive without any warning. The Santaita Fault has remained quiet in recent history, but geological trench studies have found evidence of past ruptures, some occurring within the last 100,000 years. That may sound ancient, but in geologic terms, it is recent enough to raise serious concerns. Pressure underground does not disappear. It builds slowly over time and then releases all at once, often without notice. If the fault were to rupture today, the impact could be severe. Emergency services might be overwhelmed. Power outages could affect hospitals and care centers. Roads and rail lines might be damaged beyond use. In rural areas, where buildings are older and codes less strict, the losses could be especially serious. Arizona's people are proud, tough, and used to facing the challenges of nature. They've survived droughts, floods, and wildfires. But earthquakes are different. They give no warning, and they offer no time to prepare once they begin. Readiness must come before the shaking starts, not after. The Santaita Fault is a quiet but serious threat that many Arizonans never think about. But deep beneath this proud and sunlit state, the earth is still shifting. One day the silence may end. And when it does, Arizona will face a test that has been building for centuries. Want to help us grow? Share our new video on X Every share counts. Number 7. Kchner Caverns. Arizona is a state of natural wonders built on strength, curiosity, and resilience. From towering canyons to ancient lava fields, it offers more than beauty. It holds deep geological mysteries. One of its most remarkable features lies hidden underground, out of view, but never out of danger. Kchner Caverns, near the city of Benson, is a living cave system unlike most others in the country. But the same natural forces that created this wonder continue to pose a threat to the land above it. Discovered in 1974, the caverns were kept secret for more than 10 years to protect their fragile environment. Two cavers found a narrow crack in the limestone, and behind it, they uncovered a vast system of chambers filled with delicate mineral formations. The air was damp, the walls glistened, and the formations were still growing. Unlike dry caves, Kchner Caverns remains geologically active, which means the processes that built it have not stopped. The cave system winds through layers of limestone and gypsum, two minerals that dissolve easily in the presence of water. As groundwater moves through the rock, it opens cracks and hollows out chambers. Over time, this process creates massive underground voids, some stretching for hundreds of feet. These spaces can remain stable for centuries, but in some cases, their roofs can collapse without warning. Sudden cave-ins are a real and growing concern in regions like this. If the ceiling of a chamber fails, the land above can sink dramatically, taking everything on the surface with it. The deeper and wetter the cave, the more unstable the overlying ground becomes. Kchner Caverns is monitored closely, and some areas remain off-limits due to structural risk. But complete stability can never be guaranteed. Above the caverns lie roads, trails, and nearby development. Though safety measures are in place, Arizona's continued growth means more people are living near sensitive geological zones. A collapse in this area could damage infrastructure, sever transportation routes, and disrupt underground water movement, especially in a state where water is a precious resource. Arizona's people are known for respecting their environment and protecting its treasures. But even in the most peaceful state parks, the ground beneath can change in silence. The same slow drip of water that creates crystal columns can also hollow out the land, setting the stage for sudden disaster. And while thousands of people visit Kchner Caverns each year to admire its beauty, very few truly understand what lies below. Nature in Arizona is powerful, but it is never still. The ground beneath our feet holds secrets that are slowly but surely revealing themselves. Kchner Caverns is a rare gift of nature, but it is also a quiet reminder that change, even underground, is always unfolding. Have you ever explored Kchner Caverns or a cave like it? Would you feel safe living above an underground system formed by erosion? Share your thoughts in the comments. Number 6. Sunset Crater Volcano. Arizona is known for its dramatic landscapes and resilient communities. Its canyons, deserts, and peaks reflect centuries of strength and adaptation. But in the quiet terrain north of Flagstaff, there is a volcano that once erupted with devastating force. That volcano is Sunset Crater, and though its slopes now appear calm, its history is a warning Arizona cannot ignore. The last eruption occurred around the year 1085, when Sunset Crater exploded without warning. The blast spread ash and molten rock across more than 800 square miles. Forests were destroyed, farmland vanished beneath layers of lava and cinders, and local communities were forced to abandon their homes. What nature built over centuries was altered in just a few days. Today, the crater is protected as a national monument and admired for its striking lava fields and rugged beauty. But Sunset Crater is not a relic of the past. It is part of the active San Francisco volcanic field, which includes over 600 vents. Scientists classify this area as dormant rather than extinct, meaning future eruptions remain possible. The magma that once fed Sunset Crater still exists far beneath the surface. Deep underground, tectonic forces shift slowly, and pressure continues to build. Occasionally, minor earthquakes ripple through the region, offering subtle signs that the volcanic system remains alive. While researchers closely monitor the area, no one can predict exactly when or where the next eruption will occur. If Sunset Crater or a nearby vent erupted again today, the impact would be widespread. Ash clouds could ground air traffic across the southwest, while lava flows might destroy roads and cut off rural communities. Fine ash carried by wind could damage machinery, infiltrate homes, and disrupt public services for thousands of people. Arizona's residents are tough and adaptable, having endured droughts, floods, and extreme heat. But a volcanic eruption presents a different kind of emergency. It unfolds rapidly, without warning, and leaves little time to react. The landscape may appear still, but the danger beneath it is very real. Sunset Crater stands as both a natural wonder and a quiet threat. It reminds us that Arizona's land, though beautiful, is not unshakable. What once erupted without mercy could someday do so again. Would you feel safe living near an ancient volcano? Do you think Arizona is truly prepared for another eruption? Let us know in the comments. Number 5. Astronomy Capital. Arizona is a place where the sky seems to go on forever. Its high elevations, dry air, and clear nights make it one of the best places on Earth to explore the stars. While many come for the red rocks, cacti, and desert views, others come to look upward. Arizona is more than scenic. It is considered by many to be the astronomy capital of the world. The state is home to some of the most advanced observatories on the planet. The Kitt Peak National Observatory, southwest of Tucson, holds the largest collection of optical telescopes in the Northern Hemisphere. From this location, astronomers can observe galaxies, nebulae, and distant planets with exceptional clarity. The dry atmosphere reduces distortion, giving Arizona's skies a unique advantage. On top of Mount Graham sits another world-class facility, the Mount Graham International Observatory. Positioned over 10,000 feet above sea level, it offers researchers a rare window into deep space. The Large Binocular Telescope, one of the most powerful in existence, is located here. It allows scientists to capture images of distant star systems and investigate the possibility of life far beyond Earth. Flagstaff also plays a major role in the state's astronomy legacy. It was at Lowell Observatory that scientists first identified Pluto in 1930. That same facility continues to support cutting-edge research while welcoming thousands of visitors each year. Flagstaff was also the first city in the world to earn the title of International Dark Sky City, highlighting its commitment to preserving night visibility. Arizona's dedication to the sky extends beyond its famous observatories. Statewide light pollution laws help keep the stars visible from both rural and urban areas. These protections reflect a deep cultural and scientific respect for the night sky. From major cities to small communities, Arizonans have stood together to preserve the beauty and clarity of their nights. The benefits go beyond science and scenery. Astronomy supports local economies, brings global recognition, and inspires future generations. Thousands of students in Arizona study space science and optical engineering. Institutions like the University of Arizona in Tucson lead the world in planetary research, space exploration, and telescope technology. Arizona's leadership in astronomy is not just about geography or weather. It is about people. Scientists, engineers, educators, and everyday stargazers have all contributed to building something truly rare. The state offers a unique mix of environment, infrastructure, and passion that few places can match. While other regions may also reach for the stars, Arizona's connection to the cosmos runs deep. It is a state where space exploration is part of everyday life, and where looking upward remains a shared tradition. Have you ever visited an observatory in Arizona? Do you think preserving the night sky is as important as protecting the land itself? Let us know what you think in the comments. Number 4. Meteor Crater. Arizona's landscape is defined by extremes, with relentless sun, vast deserts, and ancient stone. Among its most dramatic features is a crater formed not by erosion or volcanoes, but by an object from space. Near the town of Winslow, Meteor Crater stands as a striking reminder that even calm skies can bring sudden destruction. Roughly 50,000 years ago, a massive iron meteorite hit what is now northern Arizona. Traveling faster than 26,000 miles per hour, it released energy beyond anything humans have ever created. In just a few seconds, the ground exploded, carving out a crater nearly a mile wide and over 600 feet deep. The impact vaporized rock and changed the land forever. Today, the crater is one of the best preserved impact sites on Earth. Scientists study it to understand how our planet responds to collisions from space. Visitors walk along its rim, staring into a site frozen in time. Meteor Crater is not just a geological wonder. It is also a symbol of Arizona's deep connection to both Earth and sky. The danger it represents is not a thing of the past. Earth still moves through a region filled with space debris. Asteroids and other near-Earth objects pass by regularly, some closer than the moon. Arizona's clear skies and world-class observatories allow researchers to track these objects with precision. Their work is vital, not only for science, but for global safety. If a similar meteor struck Arizona today, the damage would be overwhelming. Towns could be wiped out. Highways, pipelines, and power grids might collapse within minutes. Emergency systems would be pushed to the limit. Recovery would take years, and the crater left behind would become a new mark on the map, much like the one that already exists. Arizona's role in monitoring the skies is essential. The state's universities train scientists in planetary defense. Observatories collect data around the clock. Local communities support efforts to reduce light pollution so nothing is missed. The people of Arizona treat space not just as a mystery to explore, but as a threat to prepare for. That mindset is clear in how Arizona approaches research and education. It is visible in how experts are trained and how nightly observations are carried out across the state. Few places in the world combine scientific focus and public awareness as effectively as Arizona does. Meteor Crater is not just a tourist destination. It is a message from the past that speaks clearly to the present. The forces that created it are still active. They still move silently above us, and they still hold the power to reshape everything we know. Would you feel safe if a new object from space was heading toward Arizona? Do you think we are doing enough to prevent another impact? Share your thoughts in the comments. We would love to hear what you think. Number 3. Petrified Forest National Park. In the northeastern corner of Arizona lies one of the most unusual landscapes in the United States. Petrified Forest National Park looks like something from another world, but its story is rooted deep in Earth's ancient past. Here, trees that once stood tall over 200 million years ago now lie turned to stone, frozen in time by a process few fully understand. What makes this park so striking is not just the colorful fossilized logs scattered across the desert. It is the scale, the age, and the silent warning locked in the land. These trees once grew in a lush, swampy environment filled with dinosaurs and volcanic activity. After falling, they were buried by sediment, and over time, minerals replaced the organic material. The result is stone that still carries the exact form and structure of the tree that once lived. Today, the landscape is dry, cracked, and windblown, but the petrified wood remains, perfectly preserved under the harsh Arizona sun. Some logs are more than 100 feet long, weighing several tons. Visitors walk among them like they are walking through time itself. Yet this isn't just a place to admire nature's artwork. It is also a reminder of how quickly the world can change. Arizona has done an extraordinary job protecting this rare treasure. The park is constantly monitored and patrolled to prevent theft or damage. Still, the threats are real. Visitors sometimes attempt to remove pieces of petrified wood, not realizing it is both illegal and deeply destructive. Even small disturbances can destabilize delicate parts of the landscape that have survived millions of years. More broadly, the land itself is at risk. Erosion, flash floods, and the steady pressure of climate shifts all affect the fragile desert environment. Arizona's weather is changing, and with it, the park faces new challenges. As the ground wears away, fossils once hidden beneath the surface are exposed. If not properly protected, they can be lost forever. Arizona's commitment to preserving its history is unmatched. Scientists, rangers, and educators all work to keep the park safe and accessible. Local communities take pride in being stewards of a place that connects the past to the present, and in a state where change often comes without warning. That effort is more important than ever. Petrified Forest National Park is beautiful, but it is also vulnerable. Beneath its silence lies evidence of extinction, upheaval, and survival. The land has witnessed collapse and rebirth, and as Arizona continues to grow, the lessons buried in this forest become harder to ignore. Have you ever walked through a landscape where stone used to be alive? Do you think places like this are protected well enough for the future? Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what you think. Number 2. Earth Fissures. Beneath the dry surface of Arizona lies a growing danger that many residents have never seen up close. Earth fissures, long cracks that split open the ground, are appearing across Arizona at an alarming rate. They stretch for miles, cut through farmland, and present a threat that can no longer be ignored. Unlike earthquake faults, these fissures are not the result of seismic activity. They are caused by the overuse of groundwater pulled from deep underground aquifers. For decades, Arizona has relied on these aquifers to support farming, growing cities, and everyday life. As water is removed faster than it can naturally be replenished, the empty spaces begin to collapse. That pressure shift causes the land above to sink and break apart. The first visible fissures were reported in the 1970s, and the problem has only grown since then. Today, Arizona has more than 270 documented fissures, some stretching more than 10 miles in length. These cracks often open without any warning, forming silently across roads, open fields, and even residential areas. State geologists closely monitor the most active zones, especially in Pinal, Pima, and Maricopa counties. These regions have experienced both heavy water use and rapid development. While the state has improved mapping and public awareness, new fissures continue to appear, especially near expanding suburbs and agricultural zones. The consequences are not just visual scars across the desert. When fissures open beneath built environments, the results can be dangerous. Roads may deform or split. Underground utilities such as water or gas lines can be ruptured. Foundations may crack, and entire structures can become unstable in a matter of days. Repairing this damage is expensive, and in many cases, the ground remains permanently compromised. Arizona is not vanishing into the earth, but the slow movement of land is forcing real decisions about how and where to build. As groundwater supplies continue to shrink, more areas will face the risk of collapse. What begins as a small surface crack can, over time, grow into a deep trench capable of swallowing property and disrupting entire neighborhoods. In the face of this challenge, Arizona continues to lead with determination and technical skill. Engineers, scientists, and land managers collaborate to track fissures and prevent development in unsafe zones. Residents stay informed and alert, aware that their landscape demands attention and care. Earth fissures are a quiet danger, but they speak volumes about how natural systems respond to human pressure. Arizona's ability to adapt will define how much damage these cracks can cause in the future. Now it's time to find out the correct answer to the quiz. From which city was a real historic bridge transported to Arizona? A. Paris. B. Venice. C. London. D. Berlin. The correct answer is C. London. Number 1. London Bridge. In the desert city of Lake Havasu, Arizona, stands one of the most unexpected landmarks in the American Southwest. It is not a replica or a themed attraction. It is the actual London Bridge, once used by the people of England to cross the River Thames. Its presence in Arizona may sound improbable, but its story is a lesson in bold thinking and even bolder execution. Originally constructed in the 1830s, the bridge served London for more than a century. By the 1960s, it could no longer support modern traffic and had begun to sink. British officials decided to auction it off rather than demolish it. That is when Robert P. McCulloch, a businessman and land developer from Arizona, saw a unique opportunity. McCulloch had founded Lake Havasu City only a few years earlier and was searching for a way to attract attention and residents to the remote desert town. In 1968, he purchased the historic bridge for $2.46 million. The structure was carefully dismantled, with each stone block numbered and shipped piece by piece across the Atlantic Ocean to California. From there, it was transported by truck to Arizona. The bridge was reconstructed over a man-made canal in Lake Havasu City and completed in 1971. It was reassembled with precision, stone by stone, using a reinforced concrete core hidden beneath the original granite exterior. The result was not only a functioning bridge but also a magnet for tourism and investment. Today, the bridge still stretches over the waters of the Colorado River, where boats pass beneath and visitors walk across its historic arches. While many see it as a curiosity, for locals it stands as a symbol of vision, determination, and Arizona ingenuity. Few other states could take a 19th-century bridge from another continent and make it a central feature of a desert city. Arizona has always welcomed unconventional ideas and ambitious projects. The London Bridge is more than an attraction. It helped build a city. It sparked economic growth and drew attention to a part of the state that had been largely overlooked. What began as an unlikely idea became one of Arizona's proudest landmarks. Robert McCulloch passed away only a few years after the bridge opened to the public. But his legacy is carved into every stone. The bridge is still standing strong, still drawing visitors, and still proving that impossible ideas can work when backed by courage and commitment. Have you ever seen the original London Bridge in Arizona? What other bold stories do you think are hidden in this state's past? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for exploring the hidden corners of Arizona with us. Click on the video you see on the screen to check out other hidden discoveries on our channel.